SSC CGL Tier 1. The answer key is out, the tentative answer key, and a lot of speculation among students. They are not sure what exactly is happening. Should we prepare for Tier 2? Should we not prepare for Tier 2? What is going to be the cutoff? And there is humongous amount of chaos which is going on. So I'm here to address that. Let's quickly start this session. So I'll guide you through what exactly has changed and what all can you expect. Is it easy for anybody to predict a defined number for a cutoff, or everything is going to be haywire? So let me take you through the session right away. So first and foremost, the biggest change which has happened this year is the equi-percentile normalization. So from 2025 onwards, SSC had released a notification 4-5 months ago where it had stated that from this year onwards, we'll be utilizing the equi-percentile normalization, which actually removes the effect where there used to be an undue advantage for some students who had probably a difficult shift or an easy shift. There was not a correct balance there, because there used to be an extreme positive upflow of marks and the actual performance could not be analyzed well, right? A lot of students in raw scores were very close to each other, but in altering shifts, one person got a higher jump and the other one could not get the equal. And that was an undue unfair advantage which was being granted to. That was creating a lot of problem. So that was addressed now. The equi-percentile normalization has been introduced, but this is going to drastically change your cutoff predictions this year. Okay. What are the major implications? First and foremost is that shift-wise competition is going to become important for you. So far, we were competing with almost all the students who are filling up the form and sitting for the examination. But now your competition is strictly limited to people who are appearing in your shift. Because right now, equi-percentile simply implies that percentile score of each shift. For example, there are examinations in 2 shifts going on. Okay, there are 100 students here, 100 students here. And there is a student who, this is a very difficult shift and this is a very easy shift. For a person to score a very easy, good, high score is easy here. The average score is high here, the average score is quite low here. But a 90 percentile student here and a 90 percentile student here will be considered equal. Percentile means how many students are behind you. You have scored more than how many students in this shift. That is what the percentile score is. They will be treated equally. So their score will be normalized equally. And this will be considered across shifts. Now I need to mention a disclaimer here. A lot of people across I have seen on the internet that they are claiming that a particular shift was very easy and a particular shift was very difficult solely based on the average score. Please understand the fact the average score can vary due to other aspects as well. There can be other discrepancies which can be there. There can be other factors which have not been taken into account, I believe, because merely looking at the average score, it is not easy for you to judge or understand whether the shift was extremely easy or difficult. There is a debate going on which says that a particular shift maybe has a lot of students who are very, talented, or maybe have been giving the examinations for a lot of time and they have more experience. So probably scoring for them is going to become easier, even if the shift was overall slightly different. So based on numbers, I mean numbers, when you judge a lot of things with numbers, it takes away the actual emotion or the essence of it. It's purely business, right? Anyways, coming back to this point. So shift-wise competition is important now. You are not competing with people across the country who are giving the SSC exam, more focused on the shifts. Your marks compression effect will be seen. So the earlier you can take a rough analysis that earlier normalizations used to throw away marks, right? And normalization used to happen according to the lowest and the highest shift. But now it is predicted that normalization is going to happen according to the mediocre shifts which are in the middle. So those who are scoring high, their scores will reduce as well, and those who are scoring low, their scores will be put up as well, so that a net balance is achieved. But this is not going to be somewhere near your average score. That is not what is important. The mode is important here. Okay, the mean or median is not important. The mode is important. That is, what is the higher number of students who have secured a particular score, right? Cutoff volatility increases. Volatility implies that right now, if there is a very minute, because of compression of students in a high zone, a minute difference in score can lead to a high percentile difference, and we see that in CAT every year, in MAT, in SATs, right? So this is there in JEE also. These are common examinations where equi-percentile normalization is utilized. So a very minute change in score will actually affect the percentile scores a lot, and that is going to decide your selection or not. Now I'll guide you through what are the factors which are considered for a cutoff. So number of vacancies, a primary factor. Now last year the vacancies were slightly higher than compared to this year. This year the final official number was 14,000, roughly 14,500 to 15,000, but this is subject to change obviously, but we cannot expect this to change drastically. So even if it touches last year's marks, still somewhat I think the vacancies will be slightly less as compared to last year. So that is going to affect your cutoff. This is just how it influences. If you, in case you are interested, you can go through this. That if the vacancies are up, obviously the cutoffs will be lower and vice versa. How many candidates actually register and actually sit for the examination, that has also drastically changed this year because of whatever was going on with SSC and the reforms, etc. A lot of students, despite registering, primarily a lot of students failed to register at the first level, and even if they did, a lot of them did not turn up. The usual turn up was slightly less than usual. Difficulty level shift variation, this effect has been taken away somewhat, because in normalization till last year it was very different and difficulty levels used to give you advantage, but now they have, with the equi-percentile method, they are trying to take that away altogether, right? Ratio of candidates selected to appear in tier 2, this one is being debated a lot, that up until now it was almost 10 times the final vacancy. So this year the vacancy is somewhat, if we take up the actual vacancy, let's say the official vacancy so far around 15,000, so 10 times is 1,50,000. Okay. The problem is that this year SSC has agreed to conduct the tier 2 examination only in one shift, and looking at the kind of infrastructure they have, it's going to be difficult, probably, I'm just predicting, to cater to 1,60,000 students in one day itself. So probably they will cut this number short. It's expected, right? This is expected that they will cut this number slightly short, and that is also going to affect your cutoff scores. One more thing is, if I compare your cutoff scores with the last year, okay, last year your cutoff was for UR category was around about 150. And if we apply the equi-percentile method on this cutoff, on these scores, on this data, the cutoff itself comes down drastically. It comes down as much as by 10 points. It's somewhere around 140 to 143. So that shows that even if this method was applied last year, the cutoffs would have been less. So that also indicates to the fact that cutoffs this year are not going to soar high. They're going to be lower. But the students who are roughly in that zone, the raw score, they might not see a drastic change in their scores. Expecting a jump of, let's say, 25-30 marks is probably not going to happen this year. There's going to be slight variation, and this year we are also going to see a good number of students whose marks are going to reduce. Now a lot of you are going to ask me that what range will I put to it, or what number will I put to it. A lot of you are going to every video, every channel, just in hope, just in search for a number. Let me tell you, giving you an exact number is not a good idea, because that is going to give you, either it's going to give you false hope, or it's going to deteriorate your hope altogether. If I tell you that okay, the cutoff is going to be somewhere around 145, and you are right now scoring a raw score of, let's say, 125, 130, and you'll get scared that whether my score will be normalized or not, and then unnecessarily till the time you'll get your result, you'll get scared, for no matter whatsoever. And if I tell you, no, the cutoff is going to be 125 this year, and if your score is around that score, you'll be very confident and you'll start feeling happy. You might, celebrate the festival very happily. But unfortunately, when the result is going to come out, you're going to get a shock. So this is a prediction game, and this time the variations, the factors are so many that predicting an accurate score is difficult. Also, the data which the students are sharing is limited because of, the reasons. The commercial sharing has been prohibited. So a lot of students are not sharing the data. So that is accordingly affecting the calculations also. But roughly, if I tell you what I feel should be a good number, is anywhere between 130 to 135. But I think this is if your raw score is in this range, then you are in a safe zone. I'm not saying this is a cutoff and anybody below this will not be selected. I'm trying to say that is why the title of the session is also safe score. Safe score means if you are in this zone. Why am I saying this? What is the base for saying this is because a majority of my students, a majority of students on Oliveboard, also the students who have commented on the sessions which we have conducted in the past, and the students who have been using the rank predictor tool, they have all given a range of, majority range is here. So major students which are compressed in this zone, and that implies that this probably is a safe zone because majority selections are going to be around this score only. So that's assumed again, that's totally a prediction, totally, I'm not claiming that this is it and if you score below, if you score 129 you will not be selected. That's not the case, but you will be safe for tier 2 if you are in this zone, anywhere in this zone. Okay, now what implications or what strategy for future aspirants? For future aspirants means what you have to learn from this process, this normalization for future, because things are changing now and your approach, your preparation has to be smarter. So the idea is you have to aim for a high raw margin. Henceforth, you cannot just, you cannot just expect that, okay, I have to score this much because the cutoff was this much last year. This is bare minimum. I just have to clear tier 1. I just have to qualify. Everything is okay, but your score needs to be higher in terms of a raw score. So that you should not be concerned about what the cutoff is no matter what. Okay. Your focus should be on consistency across sections. In future, if students, those who are watching this, who are going to prepare for 2026, for them, consistency across sections, of course, this is not in your hands completely, but you should not have a favorite topic and your subject, and you should not have a subject which troubles you. This year, English was difficult for a lot of students, and those students who were already facing difficulties in English, they actually had to suffer in tier 1 this year, right? So that can be a problem. Shift analytics, wherever you will see right now also a lot of channels are sharing shift analytics. Again, they are only solely based on average scores, but that is not a good criteria. But any which ways, that is going to give you a rough idea that which shift was actually difficult, which shift was actually easy. So that is also going to give you a fair understanding of where you are going to stand, right? A hard shift bonus is already gone now. That's useless. Your mock test will also, I think, in future will be simulated by this shift analysis only if there are multiple mock tests. So a rank predictor is working in a way wherein based on the shift difficulty, they are trying to predict your normalized scores. And of course, time management accuracy is one of the most important points. So overall, the summarized version of this is that due to change in normalization and multiple variables which are being introduced, predicting an exact accurate score is difficult and it is not a good idea. But if you really want to look for a safe zone, I think by the majority, by the mode of the data, 130 to 135 seems to be a safe bet. So stay tuned on the Oliveboard platform, and you can utilize the rank predictor app. You can go to Google and type Oliveboard rank predictor and share your data there, right? We are not publishing anything anywhere. We are not misusing anything anywhere. That is my guarantee to you. The only idea is if you share your links there, they will be able to compare it better and a better generation of data will be there. If the data set is higher, we'll be getting more accurate numbers, and all this will actually make some sense for you, right? As of now, my only 2 cents to you is don't get panicked. Don't get in a very, high negative rush right now. I know you must be feeling directionless, but we are all there with you as much as possible. Right now, take a step back, take a break, celebrate this festival with your family. And even if worst case scenario, I think everybody should start preparing for tier 2, because as it is, tier 2 is at par tier 1 only. So rather than, if you are planning to start for tier 1 next year because of any other disheartenment, you continue your preparation for tier 2 as of now till the time results come up, and that will give you an even better exposure to practice. That's the whole idea, right? And that's it. Wish you all a very, very happy Diwali. Stay safe, and you can comment your scores in the comment box below once this video is live. Thank you so much for joining, guys. Bye-bye. Namaskar.